Now, the third approach that we are going to use to adjust the spacing of our tables is to use the bigstrut command. All right, so the bigstrut command is here, and that's what we are going to use. So with the bigstrut command, it allows you to adjust the spacing for individual rows compared to the array stretch, or let's say the array stretch and the extra row height apply spacing to all rows by default. All right, all rows. With the bigstrut, it allows you to adjust the spacing for individual rows, and also it allows you to even indicate whether you want the spacing to be above or below. So in this next coding we are going to do, we are going to look at how to introduce or adjust the spacing in rows, and for some of the rows we are going to introduce spacing above and below. For others we will do just above, and then for some we will do just below. So you can see from this PDF here. So that's what we are going to do here. So I will come here and then we will start. So again, we will start by initializing our document. So that will be /document class 11pt article. So that is it. Then I'll say /use package caption, and then for bigstrut we need to also import it. So I'll say /use package bigstrut. So that is it. I'll begin my document. I'll end it. And then what I'm going to do is to get my table. So this is the default table that I'm using. So I'll just paste here. You can copy and paste it. So there's the default table. These are the commands. Or if you have your own table too, you can just use that one. That's also fine. All right. So I'm going to run this first so that we see the default spacing. Okay, the table with the default spacing. So this is it. And now we are going to create another table and adjust the spacing using bigstrut. So that's what we are going to do. So let's first introduce a brace, okay, to confine the commands to that very table. And then we are going to create our table. Now, again, I'll use the same table I did earlier, and then we will do the modification on that table. So I'll just paste the table here, write the second table, and then I'm going to change this to bigstrut. That's the caption. And by the way, I have an introductory tutorial on tables. So for those who are interested, just go and watch that video. All right. So that's bigstrut. Then that's what we do. We now have 3 rows here, which we are going to adjust. I'll show you how to use the bigstrut to modify each of them. So for the first row, what we are going to do is to introduce adjust the spacing above and below it. So to adjust spacing, you use bigstrut. That's it. And then you have to bring a slash. So we say /bigstrut like this. So when you introduce the bigstrut like this, then what you are doing is you are adjusting the space above and below. All right, so let's run this. If you run this, let's get this table. So if you look at this, let me just even enlarge it. So if you look at this, you see that the spacing has been adjusted above and below. So that's where we use this one. Now, if let's say you want the spacing to be above this row, so for example, for row B, we want the space to be adjusted. We want the space above to be adjusted. So again, we bring our /bigstrut And this time we add an option which actually came when you type. Let's just do it again. So bigstrut. All right, and then we'll bring a square bracket and we'll say T. So T means top. Let's put it that way. So top. So above, top of this row, T. So let's run this command. When you run it, you will see that the space above has been adjusted. So that's for bigstrut. All right, so that's for this one. If you want it below, great, that can also be done. Then in that case, what we need to do is to just say, I'll just copy and paste here again. And then here, instead of T, we will say B. B simply means below. And so when we do it this way, then the space below is what is going to be adjusted. So let's run it and then let's see the change. So you can see the change here. All right, so bigstrut allows you to modify the rows individually. All right, and then you indicate what the kind of adjustments you want done. So that is how we do it in bigstrut as well. So this is how we adjust the row spacing for tables in LaTeX using bigstrut. All right, so there are more tutorials that we are here to cover on tables. So just make sure to come back to this channel and then watch more.